Donald Trump has spent years using one particular insult against anyone who dares to challenge him. 2 words: low IQ. He has used it against generals, journalists, politicians, and rivals. It is his go-to weapon whenever someone pushes back. But this time, he aimed it at the wrong person, and what happened next left a lot of people speechless. When late-night host Jimmy Kimmel went on air and delivered a detailed, fact-based breakdown of what he called the Trump administration's growing overreach of power, Trump did what he always does. He went on social media and national television and called Kimmel a low IQ individual with the mind of a child. He said Kimmel had bad ratings, no talent, and that he deserved to be fired. Trump even brought up Kimmel's comments about conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, calling it a horrible thing to say. In Trump's mind, the insult would land, Kimmel would back off, and the story would end there. But Jimmy Kimmel did not back off, not even a little. Instead of responding with jokes, Kimmel walked out onto his stage and did something very different. The audience that night immediately sensed the mood had shifted. Kimmel did not smile. He walked straight to his desk, sat down, and looked directly into the camera. No warm-up, no small talk, just a direct address to the American public. He opened by acknowledging Trump's attack. He said, "The President of the United States has spent the last 48 hours obsessing over my intelligence. He has officially diagnosed me as a low IQ individual with a child's brain." And then Kimmel said something that set the tone for everything that followed. He said, "Instead of defending my own education, I think it is more important to take a close look at the mind of the man who currently holds the nuclear launch codes." That line hit the audience immediately. Kimmel then turned to the large screen behind his desk. He did not pull out a fake medical chart. He did not make up stories. He simply said, "Let's look at the receipts." And the screen lit up with video clips, real, unedited footage from Trump's own recent speeches and rallies. What played was not the image of a sharp, in-control leader. The clips showed a man losing his train of thought in the middle of sentences, drifting into strange tangents about sharks, about batteries, about movie characters, confusing the names of world leaders, standing in one city and referring to it as a completely different one. The audience sat in complete silence as the clips rolled. Nobody laughed. Nobody cheered. They just watched. Because the contrast was so obvious and so uncomfortable that laughter would have felt out of place. The same man who had just attacked a comedian's intelligence was struggling to finish a single clear sentence in front of thousands of people. When the screen went dark, Kimmel leaned forward and spoke quietly. He said, "You want to talk about the mind of a child? A child demands constant praise. A child throws a temper tantrum when they do not get their way, and a child is very easily manipulated by anyone who tells them what they want to hear." But Kimmel was not done. He shifted from the personal attacks toward the bigger picture. He told the audience that what is truly frightening is not just the behavior, it is what that behavior means for the country. He said Trump treats the United States Constitution like an obstacle. He demands loyalty from the courts, from the military, and from the press. And he said that is not how a democracy is supposed to work. Then came the final moment of the night. Kimmel said, "This is a man who demands that you respect his genius and his judgment. And yet that same judgment led him to spend years socializing with and taking photographs alongside Jeffrey Epstein." The room did not laugh. It erupted in applause. Not the kind of applause for a good joke, but the kind that happens when a crowd hears something they feel is undeniably true and have been waiting for someone to say out loud. Kimmel also reminded the audience of something Trump himself had once said. Years ago, Trump claimed that if he could not beat Jimmy Kimmel in the ratings, he did not deserve to be president. Kimmel simply looked into the camera and said, "Well, a deal is a deal." What made this moment so powerful is that Kimmel did not stoop to name-calling. He did not make up insults or personal attacks. He used Trump's own words and Trump's own footage and let the audience make up their own minds. That is a very different kind of response, and by all accounts it was far more effective than anything a simple comeback would have been. For millions of people watching at home, this became one of those rare television moments that feels bigger than entertainment. It felt like accountability. It felt like someone finally saying, "Enough." Whether you agree with Kimmel's politics or not, the strategy was clear and it worked. You cannot call someone low IQ and then expect the world not to pay attention when the evidence tells a very different story.